So good morning. A little bit of a different twist here on some news. Just a little bit of a fun story here. Doesn't always have to be gloom and doom. I'm actually not a gloom and doom person. Just that the news kind of brings us there lately. But this is kind of a fun story. I know a couple of kids that I used to have and one that's still around would kind of appreciate this. The headline of the story is Multiplayer Online Gaming Associated with Better Teamwork Problem Solving at the Office. Well, if that's the case, then I should have some office superstars. You know who you guys are. At the University of Houston, online video gamers are the focus of a new paper on productivity at work, and the results may not be what you expect. Well, it's not that it was unexpected, but a little surprising. Perhaps not with the games chosen by this study, but we'll continue. The paper reports that, contrary to popular belief, massively multiplayer online gamers have the skills in the workplace enriched by those seemingly endless hours erroneously thought as of frittered away time. Well, some of it is frittered away, like when you're at Disney World, playing games. GNN has reported many times on the benefits of video games to various forms of cognition, but this is the first study that's looked directly at professional workers. Whether they know it or not, companies are already hiring an enormous amount of multiplayer online gamers, said Malika Shirmahadi, assistant professor at UH Cullen College of Engineering Division of Technology. Wanted to produce some literature on exactly what that means for hiring managers and supervisors. What that means is you've got some people with some simulated experience, which is much better than no experience. Nothing wrong with simulated experience, that's for sure. Online gaming often gets a bad reputation, but our study reveals a different story. We found that gaming can actually help people develop valuable workplace skills. Sher Mohammadi, I know I'm butchering it, I apologize for that, told UH Press. And I've seen many people develop very valuable skills with these MMO games. Asmongold himself has spoken about it many times in some of his videos, and I've seen personal experience through my life of that. These skills include problem solving, teamwork, leadership, and even self-confidence. Our research shows that gaming, when done in moderation, can be a way for people to grow both personally and professionally. Absolutely. Teamwork, leadership, and self-confidence are all things that come from online gaming if you do it properly. You notice the games they are mentioning and some of the ones they're not, which can just turn out to be cuss-filled cesspools. Online shooters being your number one of that. Just incredibly foul in many ways, as I know most of you know, and no real skill. This is actually teaching skill. Continuing. Millions of people play massively multiplayer online games, MMOs, in which they play together in a virtual world with other humans all over the world. The top 3 games, World of Warcraft, Destiny 2, and Final Fantasy, host 150.6 million, 49.7 million, and 60.3 million total players respectively. That is 250 million online players. That is a lot of people. My question for that, it says all over the world, so I'm assuming that those are global numbers, not just American. The 150 probably tells me that, but that is an immense amount of people. That is incredible. The purpose of the present study was to examine an understudied but prevalent part of the non-work domain to understand if and how MMO gaming positively enriches employees' work domain, said Shirmo Mahadi. I apologize, I hope I got that at least close. The professor's team conducted a qualitative study among 23 employed MMO gamers who played MMO games for at least 10 years. I know a couple of people who played MMO games for over 10 years. The MMO games examined included World of Warcraft, EVE, and Final Fantasy. Require players to coordinate tasks to achieve collective goals, respect team norms, e.g. arriving on time for missions, collaborative with other parts of a team, and avoid reckless or uncalculated behaviors that would jeopardize the mission. So essentially, working in groups of people, which is a challenge for a lot of people. It's a challenge for myself. I never really used to thrive in group settings. I was always better individually. It's kind of weird. Among the positive outcomes of the research, gamers reported viewing work as solvable puzzles, and their experience resulted in improved patience and encouraging problems and encouraged them to persevere in solving them. Persevere. Just to keep doing it. Just to keep going. That is something that is missing in a lot of workplaces right now. And I'm glad to see that this helps do that. I just see a puzzle and I'm motivated to solve it. So it's affected, I guess, my mindset in that way, such that I look at it as it's solvable, said one IT engineer in the study. Other players say they develop self-confidence through game playing because they feel good about the level of success in the online gaming world. Still others reported developing self-awareness as they received feedback on their own skills and how they played alongside other team members. Encouraging people to give feedback to one another is wonderful. And these games seem to be a great way of doing that. I deal with this a lot. I deal with a lot of new people at work, since I kind of go out of my way in-game to do all the coaching. I've become ahead of some of my colleagues in explaining how to do certain things to new employees, said another study member. If one were to replace MMO games in this study with a team sport, no one could disagree with its findings. Perhaps because of the long-term stigma of certain circles associated with video games. The finding may come as a surprise, but the fundamental results, a hobby informing better work performance, surprisingly apply to both activities. I think that final paragraph is very, very well said. If this were football, baseball, basketball, hockey, lacrosse, you name it, this would be seen as a positive, creating teamwork, interpersonal skills, communication skills, problem-solving skills. These would all be viewed as a positive thing. I think there's something to be said for this study. I'll, of course, be linking it here. But hard to disagree. So maybe it wasn't a complete waste. Maybe it was actually worth something. And fun in the meantime. Still, though, Disney guys, you know what I mean. Stay sour.